All right, coming to you live from DevOps Days, Dallas, Fort Worth, and I'm here with Ben Johnson. How are you?
I'm great. It's great to be here.
Well, so now, you run a company called?
I run a company called the Particle 41.
Yep. And what do you all do?
We are a full-service consulting shop, so we put teams together that specialize in application development, data engineering or data science, and DevOps.
So if you were coming into a company, what do you do first? Do you go in and talk about their needs? What do you offer and how do you work together just to figure out the process first?
Sure. So we definitely want to do a needs assessment. We want to figure out what their initiative, and then map our services and the team construction to the initiative that they need to accomplish.
So when you go in, what would be the main sort of issues that you wrestle with? I'm sure there are different points in their journey, but in general, where do folks get stuck, say in the DevOps world?
Yeah, so what we're finding is that there is an inefficiency in that initial setup of container-based architecture. So your developers, what they really want to do is they want to write code. And I'm sure your friends, they probably have developers, and we find those developers, they want to get in, they want to write their code, they want to commit it. They also want to create microservices, they want to create a lot of applications. And so the way that we help, and we're specifically launching a new tool called the Foundry. And what the Foundry does is it launches a container-based architecture in days, not weeks, not months, but days, where we've already pre-built all the Terraform, all the infrastructure as code, so that we can set you up with a great place for your applications to land. So developers can do what they do best, which is write great code, and then it can get committed into to GitHub or their version control of choice, and then we'll take it from there, we'll put it in the container architecture. And so we have a quick launch. The Foundry is a quick launch product for getting into containers. We have two flavors, aluminum and titanium. Aluminum is based on ECS, so it's more of a container host. And then we also have full-blown Kubernetes with titanium.
And so does this work across all platforms? In other words, private cloud, public cloud, if you're talking about more of a multi-cloud model?
Really, the beauty of containers is it's a foray into being cloud agnostic. So our pre-built reference architectures can be deployed into Azure or AWS, private cloud or public cloud. And then we get that wonderful benefit of Kubernetes and the container-based architecture to really be agnostic with what cloud provider you're using to host that container infrastructure.
Okay. So you guys were consultants, you've got a lot of smart people. Where did the idea come for doing Foundry? Was this something that you saw with your customers that you thought that, man, we could really help here? And then once you decided, how did you actually go ahead and make this stuff? Did you have that technology, or did you just sort of snap your fingers? Or?
Yeah, so we did see a lot of repetitive steps as we go from client to client. Building the infrastructure as code was just it's really a skill set we developed over repetition. And so we wanted to create a product to let people know that, hey, we've already done this, it's ready to go, and really cut down that barrier of entry in terms of time. So we were seeing a months-long process to build out the infrastructure before developers could really start using it. And so we wanted to cut that down to days and be able to leverage some of the repetitive work that we were learning how to do.
And so do you have people on site that could actually go ahead and build this?
Absolutely. So all we need is access to a cloud account, and we can let it rip.
Cool. And so just to end with, where do you see DevOps going in the future? And I'm not talking about for the bleeding edge folks, but as Michael Cote says, the normals, average enterprise people. How do you see it affecting them, and what will they see more of?
Yeah, so when we see that things are going to come closer to the developer. So as a developer, I'm sitting writing code and committing that code into Git. We see things like Amplify. We see the AWS and the cloud providers are going to continue to bundle things together. Some people will want that, and some people will want to roll their own. So what we're trying to do is provide that intermediate layer and take out any of those inefficiencies with the setup steps, but also understand that there could be some kind of bundled packages that come out in the future. And bottom line is we want application developers to be able to get their code into production stably and quickly, and just really reduce that barrier.
Awesome. Ben Johnson, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. It's great.